Ndị be anyị kelenu m unu. Daalụnụ nke kunu melụ. Ama m na anyị lahụrụ ọfụma. Bụ unu be anyị ka anyị ji na-ewetara unu ihe anyị na-eme n'iru akwụkwọ n'ụbọchị nke taata. Anyị si unu n'ụlọ ya ọya dịrị nche niile na mma. Ọya dịrị ana Igbo niile na mma. Ana Igbo ya adị. Ise ise ise. Dịka o si wee gbatakwuru, o nwere ihe anyị fụrụ n'iru akwụkwọ anyị si ka anyị tinyere unu n'ụbọchị nke taata ka unu gee ya bụ ife gbasịta maka ihe na-eme n'obodo anyị bụ Eastern Region. Anyị si ka anyị tinyere unu ya bụ ife ka unu gee ya ọfụma ọfụma site na mbido ruo na nkwụsị. Mana ọzọ dị ka ibe ya bụ mfe ige ya bụ ife bụ site na ya bụ Igbo midia ka anyị si wee na-ewetara unu ya bụ ozi dị oke mkpa. So bunu unu ga-esikwa na ya bụ ife unu adọrọpụrụ anyị kọmentị unu. Achọghị m ka anyị ka mmọnwụ n'elu mmọnwụ. Ọ mere anyị ji wee sị ka unu gee ya bụ ife unu ga-esi ya unu adọrọpụrụ kọmentị ihe unu chere gbasịta maka ya bụ ife. Alright, dịka o si dị, ngwanụ gee na ya bụ ife.
On this for ages, but because the Zoo Janjaweed Gota media outlets have been threatened, many of them bribed. That is the reason why they can never report the reality on ground. Rather, they keep on twisting the issue each and every day, every week, every month, and every year. Till today, it has eaten up the zoo. So I don't want to talk too much. I just want to go straight and read the news in details, as I will be reading from one of the Zoo Gota media outlets, Sahara Reporters. One military general has finally confessed, and the reality is staring every one of us at face. And according to the title from Sahara Reporters, they said Boko Haram sponsors have links with Nigeria military. Army general forcibly retired after 64 days of detention, reveals in letter to Mr. President Bola Tinubu. This is coming from a Zoo Gota media outlet, Sahara Reporters, whose the owner is aspiring politician who wants to be the president of the zoo. Therefore, this very platform can do everything humanly possible to protect the so-called territorial integrity of the zoo, no matter what it takes. So when they give you this type of news, you do no longer need further evidence. They say General Ali Kefi, who was forced out of the army for exposing his colleagues' involvement with terror financing, disclosed this in a letter to President Bola Tinubu, which also detailed his arrest, detention, and compulsory retirement. Former General Officer Commanding GOC, one mechanized division of the Nigerian Army, Major General Ali Kefi, has revealed that terrorism financing, procurement, and movement of arms and ammunition for Boko Haram and other criminal elements have links to the military. General Ali Kefi, who was forced out of the military for exposing his colleagues' involvement with terror financing, disclosed this in a letter to President Bola Tinubu, which also detailed his arrest, detention, and compulsory retirement. No be me they talk I am reading from a Zoo Gota media, and this is coming from an army general who they forcibly retired for his truthfulness. The most worrisome aspect was that some of the individuals involved in terrorism financing of Boko Haram terrorists and who were also involved in procurement and movement of arms and ammunition for Boko Haram and other criminal organizations had links with the Nigeria military, he stated. Have I not asked a very important question that nobody is able to answer? This question remains very simple, and the day the zoo will answer this question, that is the day the Zoo Janjaweed military will end, even though we are helping to end it in Biafra. The first question, there are actually two. There are two. The first question is, how comes the Nigerian government and the entire Nigerian security apparatus, the security architecture of the zoo, with all their intelligence units, till today, since 2009, 10, and 11, that Jonathan Ebele Goodluck became the president of the zoo, till today, 2024, the Nigerian security, especially the Nigerian army and police with DSS, that boast the highest intelligence unit of the Nigerian security architecture, have not been able to tell us who are the sponsors of Boko Haram. Who are the people sponsoring Boko Haram insurgency in the zoo? And now you have the most dangerous one, ISWAP. So with all the intelligence of the Nigerian, security agencies, no one has been able to find out who are the people sponsoring Boko Haram and the ISWAP terrorists in Nigeria. That shows you that they are the funders, they are the sponsors. That's why they can never tell you who is sponsoring them. Now, that is the first important question. The day they will answer that question, the zoo will tear apart. Now, the second question, which is very, very vital and important, is who is giving them arms and ammunition? These are the two questions that I have been asking for ages now. In fact, they pay deaf ears to that question as if they are not hearing it. Who is giving them arms and ammunition? Okay, fine. They have told us they are from Mali, they are from Niger, they are from Chad, they are from Senegal, they are not from Nigeria. That's what the Nigerian government and the military told us. Now, my question is this. These boys coming all the way from Senegal to Nigeria, are they coming with AK-47 at the same time? With all these machine guns they normally front on videos? Are they coming all the way from Senegal with all these weapons? Whose border are they crossing to come to Nigeria with all these sophisticated weapons? They have refused to answer those questions. Of course, we know where they are getting those weapons from. They are getting those weapons from the Nigerian military. They are the ones giving it to them. Now they continue. Ali Kefi, who headed Operation Service-Wide (OPS), set up by former President Muhammadu Buhari to investigate those involved in terrorism financing, said his arrest, detention, and compulsory retirement followed the report of his team, which exposed the involvement of senior government officials. Senior government officials. Let me highlight it. Look at it here. Senior government officials, a top banker, and top military brass in terrorism financing. A top banker. No wonder they have been taking. I'm not saying he's the one. But there is something that made them, gallivanting all over the places, flinging Emefiele up and down. They are flinging him up and down like tissue paper. Something is there. He may not be the one. I'm not saying he's the one. And again, he may not even know what the money is all about, even if he's the one. Or even if he knows, it's either he's getting his own chair, which is in billions, or he's been threatened and cajoled to release the funds. It's very simple. It's very simple. Now, they said Ali Kefi, in the letter published by This Day, revealed that he headed a presidential investigative task force, instituted board of inquiry, convened by Major General B.M. Monguno, retired. The former National Security Advisor, which sat in the office of the National Security Advisor for 5 weeks, from early January to late February 2020. I was the president of the BOI, with members/secretary drawn from the NCS, NIS, DSS, NIA, ONSA, NFIU, as well as from the Board of Inquiry, which largely conducted its work as an investigative body tasked to investigate circumstances surrounding the illegal smuggling of petroleum products contained in 168 oil tankers into Benin Republic through a single smuggling route in Ilesha, Babara in Kwara State, he said. He said the BOI went further to uncover 295 oil tankers that conveyed premium motor spirit PMS and the major smugglers identified. The petition stated that the BOI made a significant discovery regarding the relationship between the smuggling racket, the terrorism besetting the Northeast, and the banditry/kidnapping for ransom, which was at its formative stage in the Northwest and parts of North Central geopolitical zones. This, he claimed, included the illegal mining of minerals in the Northwest and North Central and large-scale laundering of mostly funds meant for counterterrorism/insurgency operations that were ongoing mostly in the northern regions of the country. A syndicate which had extensive network in the country, as well as being affiliated to international criminal network, was as the center of moving finances for terrorism for other criminal activities stated above, he said. He added, it was thus apparent that terrorism and insurgency in the Northeast, Northwest, and North Central were a criminal enterprise and were largely undertaken with profit rather than any ideology as the primary motive. First, we at the BOI arrived at the obvious conclusion that progress cannot be achieved except the financiers, collaborators, supporters, and the leadership of the terrorist and insurgent groups are identified and the network dismantled, he said. No be wetin I be done dey talk. The petitioner said recommendations on the findings were made and submitted to the presidency, but were swept under the carpet because of the powerful individuals involved. Bam. All set to go. Exactly. Oh, let me take this again. This is unbelievable. The petitioner said recommendations on the findings were made and submitted to the presidency, but were swept under the carpet because of the powerful individuals involved. That is the reason why the zoo has to break into pieces. That's all. The petition said the operation successfully infiltrated the leadership of terror groups in the Northeast, which culminated in their decimation, adding that key terrorism financiers were linked to the individuals convicted for terror financing in UAE, United Arab Emirates. Imagine the individuals, the so-called financiers, were linked to the individuals convicted for terror financing in the UAE. Yet, the zoo government did nothing about it. The petitioner noted that trouble started when the task force became victims of unfair attacks, including starvation of funding for its operations. This substantiates the argument that some powerful persons in and outside government, as well as from the military, were uncomfortable with the task force, and specifically my humble self as commander, he said. The petitioner said the death of Lieutenant General Ibrahim Tahiru, under those tenure he served as GOC, dealt a blow to the task force as the new Army Chief Lieutenant General Farouk Yahaya removed him as GOC 1 Mechanized Division, Kaduna. Do you remember when Mazi Nnamdi Kanu on a live broadcast narrated how General Ibrahim Tahiru was killed on a plane crash? Do you remember that? Do you remember? Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said that. I want you to comment below the comment section if you remember when Mazi Nnamdi Kanu on a live broadcast told the whole world why General Tahiru was killed on a plane crash. If you remember that, please kindly comment below the comment section. He noted that subsequently, the presidency, the AGF, became less helpful. According to him, the entire episode culminated in his arrest and detention for 64 days in solitary confinement, where he slept on the floor with consequent health implications. He lamented that the most painful part of his experience was that President Buhari, who approved his leadership of the task force, did not come to his rescue. Begging President Tinubu for his intervention on the matter, he said, kindly cause an investigation into circumstances surrounding my arrest, detention, maltreatment, and compulsory retirement from the Nigerian army. Tinubu cannot do anything either. He also sought a review of his compulsory retirement from the army and that he should be commuted to voluntary retirement, as well as approved compensation for the expenditure incurred by the task force in hiring vehicles and quarters. This should include compensation for the pains and injuries suffered while incarcerated and the approval of personal security, he said. You see that? I will not analyze this at all. I will not analyze anything. I want you to use your tongue and count your teeth. Thank you, my people. Toast Mozia and make it go viral. Intervention on the matter, he said, kindly cause an investigation into circumstances surrounding my arrest, detention, maltreatment, and compulsory retirement from the Nigerian army. Tinubu cannot do anything either. He also sought a review of his compulsory retirement from the army and that he should be commuted to voluntary retirement, as well as approved compensation for the expenditure incurred by the task force in hiring vehicles and quarters. This should include compensation for the pains and injuries suffered while incarcerated and the approval of personal security, he said. You see that? I will not analyze this at all. I will not analyze anything. I want you to use your tongue.
Ndị be anyị daalụ nne nụ ihe a bụkwa Igbo Media anyị si wee na-ewetakwara unu nnukwu ozi a dị oke mkpa dịka anyị si kwuo unu nkwa na dịka anyị si na-agba mbọ ewere ike ị na-enye unu update bụ ihe gbasara maka ife na-eme na ana Igbo be anyị na ndị nwere onwe nke a na-azọ. Ọ ya bụ nkwa ka anyị kwere unu na anyị ga na-emezu ya. Ọzọ dịka ibe ya bụ iwọchi ihe a kịta ị nụrụ n'elu akwụkwọ Biafran Prime Minister kwuru, gwa onwe gị eziokwu n'ụdị nke gị na nchịkọta mmụọ gị ka ghara iwelite ile anyị n'ihe a, maka oke ihe ga na-esi na-emezi. O nwere ebe ekweta na ndị Igbo ya anọ, o nwere ebe anyị sịrị anyị nọrọ. Igbo abụlọ Senate President, Igbo abụlọ Vice President, nothing. And na ụmụ ihe ndị niile amegasịkwa anụ ụmụnne anyị esi okwu na-agba ụwofa mgba maka oke ife ya je megidezie ajụrụzi asị ma ọ gịnị na-emezi ọ dịka arụ achọziri ime anyị negodin ka obodo si dị ka e mere ji jide nwanne anyị nwoke bụ Maazị Nnamdi Kanu na mkpọrọ akwa maka ndị Igbo. Gịnị ka ihe ọjọọ mere? Maka ọ sị na n'Igbo ga-adị, maka ọ sị na anyị ga-adị ka echi na echi ada agwụ agwụ. O nwere ọzọ eji jide ya? Jụọ onwe gị ajụ a, gịnị ka eji jide Maazị Nnamdi Kanu? Ọkwa maka ọ sị na Igbo ya adị. Biko ọtụtụ ka iwe chetara ife a bụ Igbo Media anyị na-asụ n'onu be anyị, ọnụnụ be anyị ka anyị na-asụ. So biko ọ bụ na ede anụ Igbo iwe ewe na gị, ọnụnụ be anyị ka anyị ji akọwa ihe na-eme ebe a. Ka ego ọkwa na ya anyị na-ekwu bifo unu ekwe n'iwe ka ife onye ndu melụ ọ sị na ya na-eme mgbomgbe ndị Igbo na-abịa ya n'alụ ọ na-ewute ya. Simon Ekpapini ya anyị agbawa ya mgba ka e mere obedient movement. Akwụwụrụ okwu Maazị Nnamdi Kanu kwuru before ejide ya, they will never give you that president, that seat. Akwụdoro na ya na Peter Obi winere mana nyere ya. Gịnị ka ha si ya bụ mba Igbo mana na ife maka oke esi na-ekwuzi okwu ọka ife ga na-esi na-emezi. Ọ bụ na ịkpọrọ onwe gị meeting chụkọ onwe gị ọnụ, jụọ onwe gị ajụ a ka ebe ịkwụ n'obodo a bụ Naijiria. Ajụ nchọkwa onye ọbụla bụ onye Igbo na-ege m ntị n'elu akwụkwọ a, jụọ onwe ya na na-ejicha onwe gị ya bụ ife isaa ya. Ọ gwụna ka m n'ọnụ. Ihe a bụ Igbo Media.